welcome back to another monthly balcony garden tour where I take you for a walk with me on my balcony to show you how the things are changing month by month, what is looking good, what is looking bad, eventually to talk about some issues that I struggle with at the moment, plant issues. I feel like a lot of little things happened in June, but at the same time I feel like I didn't spend any time at all on the balcony because I was just so busy. But the one big project that I did, big for a balcony garden scale, is I remade the back of the balcony, which I'm gonna show you in a moment. I do have a separate video, so you can watch that if you're interested. But generally, I removed the ivy plant because it sucked up all the moisture from that pot and I couldn't grow anything else. So I decided to remove the ivy, and as I removed the ivy, I also remade that area. I put a new privacy screen, created some little sitting area where I can just sit and take my coffee. I did it only once since I remade this little corner, but I'm hoping that I'll have more time to do it this summer. What else? I had infestation of vine weevils, and I did make a video about that as well, just in case if you ever encounter vine weevils in your garden. I shared some tips and ideas on how to get rid of them without pesticides. And the weather is a little bit crazy at the moment. We had temperatures up to 40 degrees Celsius, followed by hailstorms, and over again, heat, hailstorms, heat, hailstorms. So the plants are looking a little bit tired at the moment. Yeah, anyway, let's go and let me show you how the things are looking. So let's start in this corner. I did change some things, I think, since last month. Some hostas, tiarella, heuchera. This one is called silver gumdrop and it's just starting to bloom. I really like the contrast between these purple silvery leaves. They are shiny. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. And those bright pink flowers. It looks really cute, I think. Here I have my caladium, one of my caladiums. This one is the biggest. I also bought a new clematis that you can see here. It's Clematis montana. Let me just pull it out of here. It's a Clematis montana maline, and originally I wanted to grow it at the back, which I'm going to show in a moment, where I created that new privacy screen. But I have a new idea for this, so this I'm going to show you a little bit later. I think that this area also changed since my last video. I moved some pots in here that I had in a different part of the balcony. I just planted these antherinums, which is a snapdragon. They are really cute. I needed more flowers in this corner, so I think they will look really nice in here. Moving on, we have a begonia, another begonia. This one is looking a little bit odd. I think something is eating it, but I'm not sure what. I tried to inspect it. I don't really see anything. Probably some caterpillar or maybe slugs, as you can see. So it's not looking the best. Astilbe is done with the first flush of blooms. The blooms were as pink as this one's of begonia. This hydrangea paniculata, little lime, is just starting to bloom. Geraniums are done blooming at the moment. They had their first flash of blooms. They don't bloom non-stop. They go through several flashes or waves, let's say, of blooms. Here in this basket I have little begonias that I just bought yesterday as well. They are called Gustav and they have the cutest little blooms. I absolutely love them. I will try to overwinter them indoors because they are just so cute that I would love to keep them for years to come. Moving on, as you can see, the planters on the railing are also not looking the best because they are really, I think, tired, if I can say so, from all the heat. The diacia is a little bit dry at the moment, but there are new flower buds appearing. I gave it a little bit of a haircut because the flowers dried up in sun. So I pruned it a little, just trimmed the top of it, gave it a little bit of a haircut, and now some new flowers slowly start to appear. The bacopa, I really love the bacopa with the purple flowers, but they also bloom in, let's say, in waves, in flashes. So they're in and out of bloom. 1 week they bloom, 1 week they don't, so they look green at the moment. Petunias always have some flowers, so that's nice, a little pop of color. And really loving the Dichondra silver falls. I like how it trails from pot. Under the table, I'm hiding my coleus plants because of the hailstorms. I don't want them to get damaged. I still did not plant them anywhere because I'm actually gonna grow them as indoor plants, but just haven't had the time to find pots and to replant them and to bring them indoors. In this little area, I also planted another antirrhinum. The Erigion looks really cute in the basket. I'm loving it. And Nepeta has some first purple flowers. One thing that happened this past week is this pot fell in the wind and completely broke. All the back of it is broken. This actually is just a piece that is loose, that is broken. I just held it against the wall for some stability. But yeah, I definitely have to buy a new pot and replant them into bigger pots because I think the plant starts to be a little bit too tall. So whenever there's a wind, they fall. It happened before, and this time it just fell and broke. In here we have another Alcamilla mollis. This one looks a little bit bigger, a little bit better. So that's the cluster of blooms that Alcamilla produces. I really love them. This plant will fill in and will create a little mound of green foliage with clusters of yellow flowers. I think it will look lovely. Oxalis is looking really full. Hydrangeas are slowly starting to fade. There's still plenty of flowers on them, but I keep the flowers on them because I really like them, even though they are not as flashy pink as they used to be. And in this galvanized tub, I have some Impatiens, New Guinea mix. I really needed a little bit more flowers in this corner to just brighten it up because there's a lot of green foliage, but there's not a lot of flowers. This oriental lily is not looking as great as it was just a week ago, but it smells amazing. I will pop some picture of how it looked this past week. It's a little bit bitten by the rain and hail. I'm also trying to grow some zucchini this year, and there are even some flowers on it, so that's exciting. I'm hoping to harvest some zucchinis. And that's the area that I remade. So the hydrangea is not looking fabulous because it's first it was transferred in summer in heat, so it looks a little bit tired, and also I mean it's the time for it to slowly fade because it bloomed beautifully, as you probably remember if you've seen in my other videos. It was absolutely stunning, probably one of my favorite plants. I installed the little bee house that was on my previous pergola as well, some little coffee table in here, and nice and comfortable chair to sit and to relax on the balcony. So when I sit in the chair, that's the view that I have, and I have to say I really love it. It was a really good idea to put this chair in here, to be able to come here to sit and to see the entire balcony all together. So that's how the balcony looks in June. There are still some projects, some ideas in my head, things that I would like to change. Especially this year, I wanted to feel very peaceful and harmonious. I really want to look at my garden just as I'm sitting right now, look at my garden and to see small garden, not a collection of plants. To repeat the same plants, the same colors, the same texture, that when you look at it, it all feels kind of cohesive. So yeah, that's my goal for this year, but I will do it, of course, slowly, one step at a time, and yeah, just enjoy the process. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this little tour, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye!